Yo, what's up guys? Wanted to share with y'all today a very cool technique for making a really unique sub bass patch that basically forms a chord using 3 sine wave layers that sort of pulse and interweave to create some really interesting organic movement. So diving into Ableton, let's look at just a very practical example of how you could use this technique in pretty much any type of electronic track. So let's say you're putting down some chords, maybe you land on a B major chord for your first chord. Basically what we're going to do now is we're going to create 3 sine wave layers, and the bottom one is going to be our sub, the middle one is going to hold down the lows, and then the top one is going to hold down the low mids. So I'm going to just copy this MIDI clip over onto a new channel here. So I've just got operator over here. I'm going to copy it, change the color to red. I always use red for subs, blue for chords. And I'm just going to mute the top 2 notes. So the sub is only going to be the bottom note here. So if we loop this and listen, we are getting true sub, right? So around 61 hertz or so. And then we're going to just copy over the MIDI clip again, but this time just mute the bottom and top notes. And basically this is going to be our bass note. So let's copy that operator patch over onto the second channel and then listen in context. So if you were listening in headphones or on a nice monitor, you can hear that low rumbling. Basically they're phasing and we don't want that. So what we got to do here is go up an octave. So this is going to not be a sub. We're going up 12 semitones, and now this is going to be a bass note. So around 152 hertz or so. So listening with the sub now, starting to form a chord now. And now the last one is going to be the top. So mute the bottom 2 notes, and we're going to have an F sharp. Let's copy that operator over onto the low mids 3rd layer. And let's go up another octave so that we don't get any phasing. And then listen all together. So now we have sub, bass, and low mids corresponding to our chord. And now the fun part starts. So we can start to add a little bit of subtle movement and start to make this a living, breathing thing. So let's add Ableton's utility, and let's add an LFO to our sub channel. Basically, we could also map this LFO to just the volume knob and operator, but we're basically going to map it here to the gain. And now you can see this little blue knob going back and forth. Let's bring down the depth so that it's not getting crazy quiet or crazy loud. Maybe bring down the rate so that it's not moving as fast. And then let's look at what's happening in the meter as well. So now it's starting to pulse and move a little bit, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group this together and call it sub pulsar, or just how about volume movement? Keep it simple. And paste it onto our bass channel now. And we can dial in some different settings here. So maybe we'll have this one get a little bit louder and quieter. So increase the depth. Maybe have it move a little bit faster. Maybe something like that. And then for the last one, maybe we'll land on, you can get creative here, but maybe we could go somewhere in between the sub and the bass. So maybe this one is kind of moving a little bit slower than the bass, a little bit faster than the sub. And then let's listen in context and see how these sound. So you can start to see what's happening as well. And basically you can start to just get really creative here. So first step here probably would be maybe add a little bit of LFO movement to the chords, right? Start connecting it to other elements of your track. Since we built this patch around the chords, maybe we could have this pulsing as well. Let's listen. Something like that, maybe. So yeah, now we're getting some really nice movement. I would also recommend at this point, you can save this patch to your clip library. So I would call it warm pulsing sub, maybe even put the notes in there as well. So we had, what was it, B, D sharp, and F sharp, or we could just say B major, right? Warm pulsing sub, B major. And then basically add this to your clip library so that you can drag it in on the fly when you're working. So if you go to a subfolder for this year and just drag it in rather, warm pulsing sub, B major. So now whenever we're working, we can just search for that warm pulsing B major and just drag it in. So maybe we had a different chord progression, then we could just adjust the notes, right? We could change the sub to whatever key we're working, et cetera, et cetera. So you can keep working in this way. You know, maybe the next step for this track would be to figure out your next chord. So duplicating this over, maybe I like to always do top melody first. So this is our top note. I like the way A sharp sounds. So we'll go up to A sharp and then D sharp. Where does this note want to go? I like the F sharp. So maybe this is our second chord. And then what we're going to do is basically just change the notes. So we have the same bottom note. We don't need to change the sub. The middle note has gone up from D sharp to F sharp. And the top note has gone up from F sharp to A sharp. So now if we listen to these one after the other. The last thing I wanted to show you before we go on to the next example here, I just quickly off camera added some basic drums and a vocal idea for this little song sketch. And pretty much now we have this.
We gon' shine. We gonna lay our love on the line. We gon' shine. We gonna lay our love on the line.
Diving into another example now, this is a track called Stargate Lift, and we'll just give a little piece a quick listen here. So this one is set up in a similar fashion to the first example. We have 3 layers, but there's not really a chord progression in this track. There's just a melody. So in this case, I opted for the sub, G sharp, an octave up, G sharp, and then the perfect fifth, D sharp. So going layer by layer and thinking about, what you can do as you start to get creative with this technique. For the sub, generally you want to keep it just nice, clean sine wave in mono, no effects or anything. If it's moving too fast, that's probably going to sound a little bit weird. In some cases, that's fine for certain genres of music, but generally I like slower movement for the sub. For the second layer, in this case, we have a little bit of chorus on it. So just some chorus from Serum 2 effects. If you want, you could start adding some saturation and just playing with different timbres for this middle layer. So again, sub, and then a layer in the lows. And then the perfect fifth we bring in. So listening to the intro of this track here, all together, it sounds like this. Creates kind of like a spacey, spiritual vibe. I did then add a couple of other melodic layers. In this track specifically, we've got this swaying sine here and a choir, so it sounds like this in isolation. A little bit of pitch bend on that sine layer, and then with the sub, and then all together. And one really cool thing about this type of sub patch is that it almost gives off like a Reese bass vibe. So it kind of moves and has that sort of low end warmth that you find in a Reese bass, but we're using 3 separate sine waves instead of basically a saw wave that has 2 oscillators that are phasing in and out. I like this patch because you can space out the layers and create space in the lows and low mids for other elements in your track. In this case, this is kind of an ambient, spacey, meditative vibe, and I wanted an intro that felt like it was warm and holding down the lows, but there was still a sense of spaciousness, and it didn't feel like, there was too many characters fighting for attention in the track. Alrighty, friends, that pretty much wraps it up for the video. One last very exciting announcement. I am opening up a new one-to-one coaching program next month that I'm just insanely excited about. You're going to get access not just to me, but also a spiritual coach and mentor, a human design expert. And basically, this program is all about not just, finding your signature sound and, your lane in EDM and mastering the craft, but figuring out what is your purpose, right? Why did you choose to incarnate on this planet? And why did you choose the creative route that is honestly a lot harder than the 9-to-5 route, in my opinion? It's something that we really, really, really need to do deep inner work with and reflect on and make sure that we're investing in ourselves if we want to have a long-term career here. So if you're interested, let me know. You can book a free discovery call below. And yeah, really this is for a very specific soul, someone who wants to actually do the work and is going to show up for a very intense but very fun and customized program. So let's say you come to me and you say, I love lo-fi music. That's what I want to do. I want to start DJing, locally and local bars and just kind of play a little vibe in the background. That's what we're going to do. We're going to do a deep dive over 4 months, and we're going to master lo-fi and also go deep with Victoria and Christopher, who are on the spiritual coaching and human design side, which we can talk more about it, not to go ramble, but I'm so freaking excited. I can't even put words to it. I literally, that's what I do. I'm a soccer coach as well. I've been coaching soccer for 5 years. I like to help people level up, and yeah, I'm pumped. So let me know, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.